Hello, YouTube, and Sasha here to talk about depression. And today we are going to be talking about health and food and exercise because those things can be kind of a challenge when you're depressed. And again, this is all going kind of based off of my own personal circumstances and my own personal story with depression. So, see how relevant it is, I guess. Okay. So let's start with food. Now, I tend to measure everything in effort. So if I wake up and I'm hungry, I'll be like, how much work is it going to take to get me fed? And sometimes the answer is too much work. Sometimes I look at food and I think the process of making it, of eating it, of cleaning it up, just not worth the effort. It's not worth the food. So I just don't eat because I can't get the energy up to make myself food or get the energy up to eat. And a lot of times I feel really bad because when I do have like a burning desire to eat, it's always something really quick and something really unhealthy, because quick and unhealthy is kind of very easy to do, very easy to find, fairly cheap. And I live like 20 feet away from a Carl's Jr. and like 50 feet away from a McDonald's, so fast food is usually a lot simpler than the cooking process. And sometimes, like, even doing that's too much. Getting up, leaving the house, going to get food, it's too much. Food's important. Don't get me wrong. I also love food. I love food to the bottom of my heart. It's just not worth the struggle or the effort to get to it or to eat it. Sometimes I manage to get enough energy to make the food, but not enough energy to eat the food. Like, I'll just sit there staring at this plate of rice and like chew a grain or two every 5 minutes. Like, the act of eating is too much energy and too much effort. And part of it's probably because, calorie deprived and I'm hungry, and you don't really want to move or expel effort when you're hungry. But on the other hand, it's like you have to eat. You can't just not eat like I tend to do some days. It's really bad. So here's what I do when it gets really, really bad like that. One, stop caring about what you're eating. If all you can eat for 3 days in a row is microwave burritos, then eat microwave burritos 3 days in a row. Like, your body is telling you this is food I'm willing to consume. Your mind is telling you this is effort I'm willing to expend. Don't let your healthiness get in the way of consumption, because some days that microwave burrito might be the only thing you eat. And yes, microwave burrito, not very healthy for you. Doesn't do a lot for you. It's food in your stomach. And you need to have food in your stomach. If it goes on for a really long time, try getting some really easy, maybe healthier snack foods like grapes, seedless grapes. Really quick, easy, kind of healthy-ish snack. Makes you feel kind of good about eating 3 days of microwave burritos. And try to eat at least once a day. That's usually my goal. Once a day. Sometimes if I'm having a really good day, it'll be twice a day, but not always. And sometimes it's like half a meal a day, or maybe the day is now starting at 5 a.m. because that's the first time I'm eating, but a meal a day. A meal a day is doable. If it's the only thing you're eating in the day, maybe try and make it a little more fulfilling. Like, don't have one microwave burrito, have like 2 or 3. Or have a microwave burrito with some rice or something, so that your stomach doesn't shrink too badly because your stomach will shrink if you don't feed it often enough. Something I've learned the hard way multiple times. I've shrunk my own stomach way too many times to count because food just became too much of an issue for me. On the flip side, when you start feeling hungry again, suddenly you can't eat anything because your stomach has shrunk to the size of your fist, which is apparently what it's always supposed to be, but I don't know if I believe that. And you're used to eating only one meal a day because you've only been eating a meal a day for like the last week and a half, maybe last couple of months. You just got to start slowly building yourself back up to food. Like, make that meal a day slightly bigger. Start eating small snacks in between, like grab a fistful of grapes every couple of hours. Like, eat some crackers, find something. And then just, because you're going to feel starving and bloated at the same time. I call those kind of hollow days where you're just always hungry and it doesn't matter what's going on. You're just like, I need to put food in me. My stomach's about to explode, but damn it, I've spent the last month only eating once a day and now I'm starving because suddenly my body's decided food's important again. Times like that, you kind of just have to listen to your body and not your brain. Like, if your stomach feels like it's about to explode, it's probably because your stomach's about to explode. So, find some sort of little snacky thing. Like, mix nuts. Like, chew on the nuts every time you get a craving, but you're too full to really eat anything. And it'll, A, help expand your stomach so that it's back to its, like, normal, better size. B, it'll help satisfy that just hollow feeling because you are putting food in your body, even if it's not a lot of food, even if it's just one nut, because damn it, my stomach's gonna explode because I ate 10 cheeseburgers today, but I'm hungry. And listen to your body about food. Like, don't wait until it gets to a point where you're nauseous and sick and just in general miserable, because I can guarantee you when you get nauseous from hunger, it's the last thing that's going to solve your hunger. Food does not sound good when you feel like you're going to throw everything up, even though you haven't eaten for the last 20 hours or so. Hello, guys. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about in this video is exercise. And that's because exercise is like the number one advice given to depressed people. Go take a walk. You'll feel better. Exercise. It releases endorphins and adrenaline and you'll feel better about yourself. And yay, exercise. And the thing about all that is it's true. Exercise does help out a lot. It makes you feel a lot better. You get your body moving. Your blood starts flowing. Things feel better after you exercise. However, as stated earlier in this video, sometimes I don't have the energy to microwave a burrito and eat it at the same time. So exercise, which is something that takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort, is not always something I can do. And sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, exercise is what healthy people do. I'm trying to be healthy, but I've sat on the couch for the last 3 weeks. The best body is a breathing body. That's all I'm going to say. Like, you should work out if you can. If you can afford the gym membership and you like being at the gym and that's where you go do it. It's like, but don't make exercise into something you have to do. Don't make exercise this horrible thing that you're just trudging yourself along to get to because you feel like that's where you're supposed to be right now. Because the only thing that will do is make you hate exercise, make you hate yourself, make you hate your body. Like, it'll make you hate everything about yourself, about your life. Like, when you hate doing exercise and you're doing it just because you feel like you're supposed to be exercising, then it just becomes another chore in this long list of things that you have to do in the day that might not be getting done because you have no energy because you're so depressed. And it creates this really bad cycle of, I should be exercising. Exercising makes me feel better, but I have no energy to exercise, so I'm a horrible human being for not exercising. That just gives you less energy, less effort, less motivation. Like, when you start getting down on yourself, everything just becomes less, except for hate and bad feelings. Those become more. And it's really difficult. Especially with all the, like, exercise, self-help blogs out there today, where it's just like, oh, you know, it's easy. Just go and do 100 push-ups a day and 100 sit-ups and 100 squats and, you know, do it every day, and soon you'll be super healthy and super fit. There's nobody there going like, you managed to wake up and get out of bed today. That's an accomplishment. Because to those people, it always seems like the accomplishment is the end of the 20K run. Like, going running itself isn't an accomplishment unless it's something huge and beautiful and wonderful, and you go hard and you go all the way. And that's not the way exercise is for depressed people. Like, sometimes I go into the gym, I go hard as hell because I'm feeling good that day, and my muscles feel like moving, and I just need to be moving. Sometimes I go into the gym and I stretch for an hour. Like, I literally just get a mat and I stretch and I lay there for an hour because that's all I've got the energy for. That's all I can do. And the only reason I'm at the gym is because my sister and her boyfriend dragged me there. Like, both are okay. Getting your body moving is the only thing that matters. You know, just like I said, a breathing body is the best body. As long as you're breathing, you're doing something right. And if you can, try and find something fun that you can do with an activity so that it's not another chore, but it's something you can look forward to. And if you make it into something that's kind of like a reward or something like fun that you can do, then when you miss it on a specific day, you're not like, aw, I'm a bad person because I missed exercising. It's kind of like, aw, I missed out on this chance to do this fun thing, but you know what? I can do it tomorrow. Today's just not the good day. When I first started exercising, what I always did was I would listen to podcasts. Welcome to Night Vale, the Rooster Teeth podcast, everything that Night Vale Presents puts out. I love it all. I love podcasts. But I don't like sitting still listening to podcasts. But I didn't really like doing other things with podcasts because I needed to focus on the story that was going on. So I found the best time for me to listen to podcasts was just walking around. And that got me taking like a 20-minute walk a day just so I can listen to the new podcast, feel good about myself, and it was fun. And if I missed a day, then I knew I could listen to that podcast tomorrow. Because it wasn't some big deal. It wasn't you ruined your routine and your schedule and now you're screwed for the rest of your life. It was like, today wasn't an exercise day. Today wasn't a day where I got to listen to podcasts. Tomorrow I can listen to podcasts if I'm feeling up to it. I don't want to listen to the podcast every day. You know, some days I'm just like, I'm not feeling the podcasts. Some days I want to walk to music. I like taking walks. My sister's got a dog. It's fun taking her out for walks. Watching her run around. Again, don't make exercise a chore. Like, dogs are very good for getting people out of the house or moving around in a very fun way because they like to play and they like to run, and you can play and run with them, and then you feel good because you made them feel good. And it's all about finding a system that works for you. Most of my exercise this past month has been dog related. Because I haven't had the energy to go to the gym. I haven't had the drive to work out my muscles and do all that. What I have had the drive to do is play with my dog. Not my dog, my sister's dog. But play with the dog. That's exercise. As long as you're moving and as long as you're breathing, you're doing good for you. And that's what's real important. Depression makes life very hard. It makes a lot of things very hard. But if you can find a way to make those chores into something fun, then, you know, you reclaim that little bit of life for yourself again. If you don't eat anything for 3 days because you have no motivation and you don't want to eat microwave burritos, then That's your depression taking over. Eat the 3 microwave burritos. Get food in your body because your body is trying to convince itself to die slowly from starvation. And you need to not let it do that by trying to put food in it whenever possible. And yeah, that's basically it. Food and exercise, they're really, really important parts to having a healthy body. And when you've got the healthy system working within your body, it does help with your depression a little bit, because the better you feel about yourself, the better you tend to feel about life. And exercise does release all those great chemicals that you're always hearing about online and stuff. But if you make it something that deactivates those effects, then it's not worth it. If you get up and run a mile every morning, but you hate yourself for doing it, and you hate doing it, and the entire time you're out there, you're just thinking about how much you hate all of life, and why are you doing this to yourself, it becomes a punishment. And life's already punishment enough for people with depression. So don't make things for you for your depression. Like, have things that make you happy. Whether it's a burrito that you can eat 20 times a week, or it's going into the backyard or the park near your house and like walking around in a circle 20 times while listening to a song. Like, you go out there and do it. There's no right or wrong way to take care of your body. You just have to do what sounds and feels most natural to you. Otherwise, you just end up trying to live somebody else's life. And it's already hard enough to live this one, so let's not make it harder on ourselves when we don't need to. So if you liked this video, then, like, subscribe if you haven't already. I know it's late, but that's just because the only people following me right now are my family, so love you guys. And comment with either your favorite food or your favorite mode of moving. My favorite food is pizza or potatoes. Potatoes. I'm definitely going with potatoes. Potatoes are my favorite food. My favorite way of moving, and playing with a dog. That's my favorite way of moving. See you guys next week, if I remember, and stay strong.